What's going on, guys? Your boy Rome Leggets back again with another video. Yes, so I gotta tell you guys, I had to call an audible because I had my whole entire list completely made. Yes, my entire fall list was made, and then I got hit with a grenade of fragrances. You guys saw my haul. I got some new fragrances in, and I said, yeah, I need to include some of these bangers in this haul, and I had to switch some out that I thought smelled better than others. So I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna do it already. I'm gonna brush my shoulders off on this one. This haul is gonna be like no other, and I'm not talking about anybody else's haul. I'm talking about mine. I mean, we could say, go watch some more of the other fragrance hauls that's doing the fall fragrance list. I am 100% sure that no one, I mean no one, is going to have any of these fragrances on their list. And I'm telling you right now, the top 3, no one is going to have on a list. I know this for a fact. If I was a gambling man, I would put money on it and tell you that they wouldn't have these on their list, because I do this. The exclusive fragrances that are hard to find, that are rare, and that are luxury, I want to save for you guys. So we're gonna have some fun. For those who just joined the channel, welcome to He Smells Like Rome. We talk about niche fragrances here, luxury fragrances, hard to find fragrances, and those fragrances that's going to cause conversation. So if that's the type of channel you're looking for, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications when I shoot these videos. You know how this works. You help me out, I help you out by providing some of the most extraordinary fragrance videos available. All right, so like I said, you're about to fall head over heels for these fragrances I have right here. If you're ready for another fall fragrance video, sit back, relax, get some popcorn. It's about to go down. All right, so I couldn't break it to 10. There's no way. My collection is growing, and I thought that this would be a great opportunity to present some really great fall fragrances. Now this list is going to be from some of the more lighter, more sensual kind of early fall fragrances all the way down into roughly into December, where it gets a little colder. I got everything leading up from roughly 60 degrees all the way down to probably, you know, the low 20s. So let's get into it. Let me show you what number 14 is. Now number 14 is a new fragrance house that I came across. I've been raving about this fragrance house for the last 3.5 months. And this fragrance right here is this is definitely my favorite from the entire line. And that fragrance we're talking about is LP04 Golden Gem by Le Persona. Yes, Le Persona has created such a gorgeous fragrance, and this one in particular has the ability to play with the kind of warmer weather when we're around 75 to even 65 degrees, and then it can transition into working in those cooler weather that sits from the 40s and below. I really enjoy this fragrance because it captures a nice balance between floral, citruses, woody tones, and it has a nice, not resonance, but almost slightly smoky vibe in the base. This is a fragrance I would categorize as a light, warm fragrance. Now, it's not something that's going to cover you and keep you from feeling that 30-degree weather, but when it's around I would say the lowest, maybe 50s up into the 70s, this is definitely one I would consider to be a romantic fragrance, a fragrance that you would cuddle up with someone. The rose in this fragrance is slightly jammy, but also very fresh and sweet. There's also a nuance of cedar wood in here that gives off this warm, cozy, woody effect. Now, there's a slight pininess that comes with that woodiness, but in the mid of this fragrance And leaning down into the base, there's 3 notes that are unique to me. There's a fiery note that I say is a compliment to the cedar wood. It's almost like you burnt a little bit of the cedar wood, and then you had some vanilla. And this creamy vanilla combined with that cedar wood is superb. There's also in the base a nice patchouli note, an earthy patchouli. The soil is moist. When I tell you moist, I mean the earthy tones are soft. There's nothing heavy about this fragrance. There's nothing going to engulf you in a cocoon of rose or vanilla or even cedarwood. They're all balanced to be just enough to be, like I said, romantic, something you will cozy up with your boo with. Check this one out, guys. It's a banger. That's why it's on the list. Let's go check out the next one. Now, this next fragrance has hit the ground running. This is one of the most popular fragrances in niche perfumery. Pretty much in 2025, everyone has this fragrance. And there's a reason why. Because it literally smells like a caramel latte. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Bianco Latte. Yes, Bianco Latte is just a compliment magnet. Oh yes, this is just, for me, creamy coffee. If you like cappuccinos, if you like lattes, to me, this smells like a combination of both. The warm melting caramel in the opening, that's what's gonna grab you. But this milky undertone combined with a nice sweet and equally warm honey is what's gonna keep everyone asking you what you got on. This fragrance does not have coffee bean in it, but what they have created here does actually smell like a latte. I contribute that to the warm and also the sweet tonka bean combined with the milky tone. Guys, this is the fragrance you want when you are going out to dinner, when you're meeting up with that woman that you've been trying to, hey, when you gonna go out with me? When you gonna go out with me? We can go out this weekend. Rock this for that female, because I'm telling you, this is it. And this is not just a date night. This is literally a afternoon brunch kind of fragrance. You can rock this just going to get a cup of coffee. You can rock maybe this just hanging out on the boardwalk, having a conversation. Romantic and pleasant, and one of the most complimented fragrances in my collection. Bianco Latte, go check it out. Yeah, you can thank me later. Now, this next fragrance I consider to be one of the most playful fragrances in this lineup. And to me, this is a sleeper, because if you're looking to have something that's going to turn heads, Kepler 51D by Niche Perfumes is a no-brainer. This is a must-have fragrance, especially if you like the note of cotton candy. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they extracted the note of cotton candy out of whatever it was. Maybe it's a synthetic note. I don't know, but whatever they did it well. This fruity, metallic, sweet, candy-like concoction is mesmerizing. Yes, like I said, it's playful, it's young, it's vibrant, but I can taste it. I can taste the cotton candy with the fruit. It's like someone had passion fruit and pineapple, and then they threw cotton candy in the mix and let it swirl around in that little cotton candy maker. Yes, this is one of a kind. Yes, it's a pink bottle, but who cares? It smells great. It's gonna smell great on you. And this thing is beast mode. When I'm talking about, you don't need to wear a sweater. You can just wear a nice button up short sleeve shirt like I got on. And it can be 60 degrees, 50 degrees outside, and you'll be fine. I mean, I wouldn't do that. Don't do that, because I don't want you to get sick. But it's very rare to come across a fragrance that balances these type of notes together. Orange, pineapple, cardamom in the opening, just to name a few. Then you have a warm, sweet, dripping caramel combined with a vibrant, sweet, and ripe passion fruit. And then in the base, and even in the opening, you have this unique cotton candy. Enough said. Check it out. This is why it's on the list. One of the most fun fragrances I have in my collection. Kepler 51D by niche perfumes. Yeah, I got some more. Let's go check out the next one. The next fragrance I have up here, I just reviewed this fragrance. I'm pretty sure it's up maybe simultaneously with this video, but this one right here is the most authentic rose fragrance I've ever come across, ever. We're talking about Fleurs Humdy by Gel Blanc. Yes. Can we take a look at this gorgeous fragrance? Once again, the bottle, the cap, absolutely stunning. But the fragrance, I'll just recap what I said because I want you guys to go watch the video. The opening smells like the complete rose still in the soil. Like the branch, the stem, the rose, when it's just about to bloom and blossom, you get that earthiness from the soil. You get the woody texture from the branch. You get that greenness from the stem, and you also get that nice, ripe, fresh rose. And that is from the top. You also get a Turkish and a Bulgarian rose in this fragrance. So you got the fresh, you got the jammy and sweet one, and you also have a nice peppery vibe that makes this fragrance lean more on the masculine side. Don't get me wrong, the women can rock this too. But trust me guys, if you're looking for one of the most modern takes on a rose fragrance, Fleurs Humdy is the one you need. I'll be hooking y'all up, man. Let's go check out the next one. Now, I don't need y'all coming from me. I know that I said the next time that I was gonna show this fragrance, I was gonna have a full bottle. But I haven't rocked it because I've been saving it. You know how you got those special fragrances that you like, man, I don't wanna waste it. I don't wanna use it all the way up because it's gonna be a minute before I get another one. And that's the reason why I don't have a full bottle of Cure Kukuma by Evanescence. That does not mean at all that this isn't a banger. But for me, I just refuse to buy a full bottle when I still have this. Once this is done, and this probably will be done before January, I'm getting a full bottle. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this amazing banger, bro. What is wrong with y'all? How do y'all not have this? I mean, some of y'all do, but most of y'all don't. Let me break this down for you, how wonderful of a leather fragrance this is, and the one of a kind. We're gonna focus on the note of turmeric. Now, turmeric is a root or a kind of, looks like it's a root, but it looks like a combination between a potato or maybe for me, a sweet potato or yam. And you know that turmeric is used for all types of healing factors, right? But the smell, to me, this smells like you baked a yam, sweet potato. You ain't put anything on it. You know how just before your grandmother or your mother prepared the sweet potato pie or just the candy yams, she had it boiling in the pot, right? Just to get it nice and moist for you to kind of do your thing with it, right? That's what this smells like. When they poured it into the bowl, getting ready to mix it, that steamy kind of herbal and soil type smell is what I got. On top of this almost Aston Martin leather that came off exactly at the same time as the turmeric. Those two notes are fantastic. They are doing what they're supposed to do in this fragrance. But if you want something that's gonna be super unique, this is the fragrance you need to get, because not only did it have those two notes, but you're also gonna get a really nice powdery iris note and a smoky myrrh, just to name a few of the notes. This is the perfect leather, smoky, herbal type fragrance in the game. Most of this is gonna be leather, but those nuances playing around in the pyramid from the first hour you wear it to the 10th hour, you're gonna be in heaven with this one. Go check it out. Yeah. One of the best leathers in the world. But I got some more fragrances to show you. Next up, this fragrance needs no introduction. It had to be in the fall fragrance list because it's just a masterpiece. I don't even have any hype words to say. It is. Lovely Patchouli 55 by Kriegler. Yes. just go get it. On to the next. No, I'm joking. No, it's anyone that's in perfumery, collector, reviewer, or just someone that dabbles into fragrances. You guys know about Kriegler. Maybe you don't. If you don't, let me hook you up. This starts off with an abstract version of amber. Now this is definitely on the crystallized version of amber. This isn't dry, this isn't resinous. This is almost candy sweet, right? But mildly candy sweet. There is also a sweetness in the patchouli mixed with this earthiness. This patchouli in this almost smells edible. Of course, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. But the soil mixed with this greenness and that amber is, no one can copy this. In my opinion, there's also a slight bit of vanilla, but there's a leather and also a bergamot in this. I'm gonna tell you right now, 3 notes you're gonna get is sweet patchouli, sweet amber, vanilla, and in the base you're gonna get like leather. Lasts 8 hours easy. It's going to perform like a rising sun, where it's just going to get better and better and better as the day goes on. When you're looking at a pure perfume, you're not looking for beast mode. You're just looking for pure perfection, and this is what this offers. In the later parts of the fall, when it gets cool around, like I said, 45 in the 30s, this is the one you're going to want to grab, because that cool, brisk air, the leaves falling, if you're chilling and relaxing with maybe your loved one, or you just want to go out and hang out by yourself, this fragrance will keep you company. Yeah. Lovely Patchouli 55 is a masterpiece. Go check it out. And they got a sister called Lovely Patchouli 55 Night. Go check it out. I'm gonna leave it there. This fragrance that I have in my hand was able to pull off coriander, mandarin orange, rose, tobacco, patchouli, sandalwood, and vanilla, all in one fragrance, and not make a disaster. You know, Boadicea makes some of the best fragrances in the world. And to me, there's few fragrances, not just in their collection, but in all of perfumery, that can compete with this. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Tobacco Sapphire. Yes, Tobacco Sapphire. We are now moving into the mid to late part of October. We are now wearing jackets. We are no longer wearing just long sleeve shirts or even just sweaters. We're at the point where it's a consistent 50 and below. And this is where I think this will perform the best. Don't get me wrong, you can absolutely wear this in the winter, but the combination of the mandarin orange and the rose in the opening, along with the spices, create a nice, comfortable nuance of just soft and inviting spices, but that sweet citrus note of that mandarin orange is pleasant. That's what brings women into this conversation. When I said Tobacco Sapphire, most people are gonna be like, this is strictly for men. Absolutely not. The combination of that and the rose is absolutely going to attract females. What's going to keep the guys interested in this is this boozy aspect. Now, there is a whiskey note in this, I am pretty sure. I could be wrong, but you smell a whiskey note in this. If it's not whiskey, it's maybe cognac, combined with a musky kind of smell and also that smoky incense and tobacco vibe. This is the perfect fragrance from October leaning into the cooler or colder parts of November. Oh my goodness, this is what you need. This is that smell, the tobacco, the smoke, the dark floral rose in this. This is, yeah. Just trust what I'm saying. If you can see my facial expressions, trust that. A must have. Yes, it is expensive, but if you got a coin, go check it out. I always say sample first. Let's move on to the next one. Next one is the surprise. One of those fragrances I was telling you about that I was like, whoa, I got this in the collection. I definitely need to put this in the list. There's no way I wasn't. This actually took the place of Evening Signature. Now, you guys know that that's one of my joints. That's one of the bangers, especially for the fall. And for me to put a new fragrance in there, it gotta be doing something. And Esprit Infini is doing this thing. It's by the same house. Of course, it gotta impress me. But I have to say, this has to fill some big shoes. And it's doing its thing so far. Everything about this fragrance, like I said, has ignited that excitement in me when I was a little kind of like, oh, man, nothing's really getting me up there to want to go explore new fragrances. Until I got the sample of this, I was like, yo, this is right. And that's what I mean. This is all the way right. A slightly spicy floral labdanum, a nice kind of peppery rose note in this. There's amber in this fragrance also, which is one of my favorites, but the Immortelle, this Caribbean floral, slightly spicy herbal flower is what's rocking. I'm just loving every bit of that. The benzoin keeps it warm. It gives us this resonance vibe. It also adds a little bit of a sweetness in there. I don't know where the sweetness is coming from besides what I would consider to be the benzoin. But yes, there's also, I would say, a sweet cleanness. That might sound crazy, but yes, I have not reviewed it yet. I haven't. The review is coming up very soon for this. I'm absolutely going to get you guys on this fragrance. I have to, but it had to get in the fall list because not only just projection and performance, but there is nothing that I've smelled that even remotely comes across like this. Amber, floral, amber, rose, Immortelle, patchouli, cedarwood. Just wait. If you can't wait, go check it out yourself. Let's go on to the next one. The next fragrance I have is a rock star, but also is very slept on because one, could y'all just keep dropping bangers? So every time you get a new fragrance, you kind of put the other one in the back burner because you're like, yeah, this one is rocking right now, I'm gonna rock this. And then they come up with another one, and you put that one in the back. But every time I smell this, I'm just blown away. I'm talking about Kajal Homme 4. Yes. This is, I asked them, what was the inspiration behind this? And I can't remember what Mo said, but this is such a unique take on smoky, leathery, and dry. I said this in my review of this fragrance. If you're looking for a fragrance that captures the note of dates perfectly, this is the one. This is the fragrance I said, wear on a date. Because the dates in this fragrance is gonna make your date wanna date you. This, bruh. This dry, rugged, worn out leather in the opening, combined with this sweet, dry fruit, which is dates. You're almost smelling if you peel the date and you have that kind of sticky, syrupy vibe that's in the middle of the date, that's what I'm smelling. This also captures the spicy note of cardamom. And to me, if you can pour a little bit of the cardamom spice in a nice glass of either rum or even whiskey and swirl that around your nose, that is what you're going to get in combination with the leather and the dates. Go check out my full review on this, but if you want something not only for a confident booster, a GQ type of fragrance, but if you want one of the best leather fragrances in the game that really doesn't scream leather, this is it. It has so many other nuances that sometimes overshadows the leather, but makes you just smell great. This is the fragrance. I'm telling y'all. That's why it's on the list. Kajal Homme 4, a must-have. Yeah. We down to the top 5. Let's go check them out. All right, down to the top 5. I'm gonna try to run through these as fast as I can because I know we over 20 minutes already. This one is from one of my favorite houses. This is probably my second most complimented fragrance, or third in my collection. Every time I wear it, I know that I'm gonna get someone asking me what I got on or telling me I smell absolutely stunning. Another fragrance that also captures a note of amber like no other. This is Amber Mill, or Ambry Mill, by Graham and Pot. One of the best fragrances in the game, and one of the best looking bottles I've ever seen in perfumery. Yes. So, I always, and I still stand by this fragrance smells like cherry. It smells like a combination, hold on, I'm gonna break it down. Honey, cherry. And I'm talking about cherry that's coming out of like the jar that's been kind of curating for like 3 weeks, and you got the little syrup, then you pull the cherry out. You have raspberry, which is leaning on the tropical, more fresher side of the raspberry. You have cinnamon that complements the honey, which bring this into the gourmand territory. But what makes this fragrance everything, and I mean everything, is the combination and the base of tobacco and vanilla. Now, don't get me wrong, the honey and that vanilla they be having a martial art fight. They in the UFC battle for who's gonna win. But trust me when I tell you, cherry, or whatever creates this cherry honey vibe in my head, is what you're gonna get from this. Wear this in the November time. If it's like, I mean, wear it whenever you want, right? I'm not gonna tell you when to wear it. I'm just saying that the colder parts, November, December, yes, but absolutely one of the best fall fragrances in the game, and a must-have if you don't even have, like most of y'all probably don't even have Graham and Pot fragrances, but I'm telling you, go get one, especially this. Yes, this is a masterpiece. I'm just gonna say it. Let's go see what number 4 is. This is probably the blueprint of the perfect incense fragrance. And most people would say this is more of a winter fragrance, and I wouldn't disagree. But if you spray it right, you can absolutely pull this off in the fall. I've actually rocked this in the summertime and had no problems. Except maybe the first time I rocked it, I sprayed like 12 sprays on me and almost died. But that's another story. The fragrance that I'm talking about is another masterpiece, and this is Interlude Man by Amouage. Yes. Incense. If you are an incense lover, come to the front of the classroom. This has created a smoky incense that smells clean and sweet and spicy and peppery. Don't ask me how that combination works, but if you want something that smells like a mixture of Indian and Caribbean incense and spices all coming together, this is it. But there's a, like I said, there's a shadow or whisper of sweetness in this. I contribute all these nuances of incense, of course, to incense, but you also going to get ambroxan, another resins that I think amplifies this fragrance. You're going to get an oud, mostly the woody tones of an oud, nothing animalic or even barnyard-like. Like I said, there's a peppery vibe in this fragrance that, to me, enhances the smokiness from the incense. But in the dry down of this fragrance is where I say there is nothing in any room that's going to compete with this if you have this on. If you go into a room or a restaurant or a gathering or a party and you put this on, everybody else shut your fragrances down because this is going to take over the party. If you like beast mode fragrances, if you like incense fragrances, Interlude Man is a must-have. Enough said. Let's go check out the next one. So, number 3 is a fragrance that is not out yet. I've had the fragrance for a little while now, and I will be reviewing the fragrance for you guys. But I had to put this in the list because I told you guys before, lemon is going to be a note that's going to take over from now and going to be the main focus in Rockstar of 2026. Listen, take notes. I'm telling you this. When in 2026, y'all gonna be like, yo, Rome wasn't lying. A lot of fragrances dropping lemon fragrances now. The fragrance I'm talking about is the newest release from Boadicea, Lanania. I hope that I'm saying that name right. We have a fragrance that comes off candy lemon sweet, like sugar, like you dipped a lemon into sugar and then you dipped the lemon into lemon sugar powder and you left it for like 3 days in the sun to crystallize. And then you baked it. That's the opening I get with this. You're also gonna get a really unique honey. You're also gonna get a really unique rum. Now the rum is boozy, but it's a light rum. It's like almost like a white rum instead of a dark rum. You're also gonna get in the base of this fragrance a whiff and hint of coffee. I would say not even coffee brewed, more of just fresh coffee beans, but it's very faint. And everything about this fragrance to me just speaks my language. Sweet, citrusy, candy-like, which is leaning slightly on the gourmand side or the playful side. Then we get the grown man-ish kind of vibe with the rum note. That boozy aspect is also adding on to this sweetness, but has a little bit of a woody texture to it. And then, like I said, we're sitting down, getting ready to brew some coffee, or maybe an espresso, or a cappuccino. You guys be the judge. But this is a fragrance you guys gotta get in your list. I'm not sure if they're gonna do pre-orders, but trust me when I tell you the fragrance is going to be a rock star when it drops in October. Yeah. Lanania by Boadicea the Victorious. And number 3. Now, I remember when I said in the beginning of the video, y'all definitely ain't gonna know which are number 1 and number 2. And I was confident that no one had any of these fragrances on their list. Anybody that's a fragrance reviewer, let me know. Anybody that's been watching other fragrance reviews, tell me if anybody got these fragrances on their list. Let me show you what number 2 is. Now this was really hard. Like really, like y'all don't understand how hard this was. I know we all say this like this is hard. This is so hard, and then we be like feeling like we BSing y'all. I'm not. It took me 2 days to figure out which one of these. I kept going back and forth like, yo, I don't know. But this is number 2 because the other one's just a little bit better. I'm talking about Versiana R. Yes, Versiana is, yeah, it is absolutely stunning. I said yes in my video. I'm not sure. Yeah, the review should be up by the time this up. I said that I consider this a masterpiece, and I do not take that lightly when I say that. There's probably out of the hundreds of fragrances that I have in my collection, there's probably maybe, and I'm pushing it when I say 20 that I would consider masterpieces. But this has been added to the list. I'll say it again. I've never smelled the combination of an opening that have leather, vanilla, and a nice woody smoky nuance in the opening like this. This is creamy, this is rugged, this is masculine, this is sexy, and this thing lasts 10 hours. Every time I put this on, and I've worn this now 4 times. 4 times. I've only had it for about 2 weeks. Go watch my review. From here in September to March, you can rock this any day of the week. I would reserve this fragrance, and I will be reserving this for special occasions. But if you have some place to go that you want to be the standout star when it comes to smelling good, and if you rock with the type of fragrance I'm talking about, this is it. I'm not talking about the fragrances that smell like fresh linen or clean or fruity or anything like that. I'm talking about exotic. I'm talking about something unique and abstract. This is that type of fragrance. Vanilla, leather, amber, patchouli, all the great notes that create a particular type of fragrance. Yes, but they done it different in this one. Go check it out. Well, now let's go check out number 1. I hope you guys are sitting down for this one. Now this fragrance has the note of Damascus rose in here. That is the perfect representation of what that note is supposed to smell like. Now I know a lot of people think they know what roses smell like. Most of the time, I'm sorry to say, we are smelling synthetics. But when you get the ones that really do it right, when you can just smell the freshness, the naturalness, that's when you gotta celebrate. And this fragrance right here did that and so much more. This is why I say this is the perfect fall fragrance. And that fragrance I'm talking about is Dazzling Dubai by Viage. Yes, Dazzling Dubai. Not only just the bottle is gorgeous, right? The smell. I'm gonna try. Maybe it'll work this time. Can y'all smell that? The app ain't working yet. I'm gonna get the app to work at some point. But y'all, there's this fruity, syrupy vibe in the opening, which is resins. There's also a combination of these tropical fruits in the opening. But those two dance and waltz with each other and have a ball. But this damask rose, this jammy, dark, almost, bouquet of roses that just, they take over the opening. Now, the fruits absolutely play a part in why my face is looking like this, why I'm so excited to tell you about this, because the fruity nuances aren't fresh. They're like, they've been there for like a couple of days, but they're getting that sweetness, like the sugar that's in the fruit is starting to come out more. But when you're talking about fall, you want something warm. And this is where amber, the honeysuckle, and the vanilla play a part of creating a unique and, to me, a different type of gourmand experience, or the illusion of a gourmand experience. You think that this is going to start becoming more of a pastry-like, but it's brought right back. It just, the rose just takes it from going into that category. You're going to get more resins. You're going to get more of a vanilla. You're absolutely going to have one of the most decadent, romantic, dark roses you've ever come across. But when they talk about Dazzling Dubai, the Middle Eastern take on this is going to transport you to Dubai, it's going to transport you to Abu Dhabi, or it's going to transport you to somewhere, maybe in the Caribbeans, I would say Barbados or even Trinidad. Yes, go check this one out, guys. This is, I probably just reviewed the fragrances that's there. But yeah, this is a banger, a must-have. And this house, I'm going to be venturing into and talking about way more. But Dazzling Dubai is #1 on my fall fragrance list. And I urge you guys to go check it out. All right, that is my long, I think this video is gonna be probably over 35 minutes. But I think putting 14 fragrances is worth it. I mean, you can break it up. You can watch one half and then come back and watch the other half. I don't know how you want to do it, but I thank you guys for watching the video. I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all, and I hope that you guys pick up one of these fragrances. At least go to your local boutique and check them out, sample them. I'm going to link down below where you can get samples or check these fragrances out if you want to buy them. There's also going to be discount codes in the description with my code ROME10 for each fragrance that has that discount code with it. Take advantage of the discount code because we have one that's like 10% and we also have one that's like 40%. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're almost at 7,000. Y'all know how this works. Help a brother out. It's free. I love you guys. I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to be here with my fellow fragrance family. I want to thank you, God, for the platform that I have to speak your name and to reach people. And I pray that you speak through me so people can feel your presence. There is a thing I want to talk to you guys about, and it's not really heavy, but I've touched on it here and there, but I just want to give you guys an understanding, right? These are scented waters, right? They are something we enjoy, something we love, something we are passionate about. But I want you to be careful of two things. Don't make this your idol. Don't make this more important than God, right? And be conscious of how you purchase fragrances, in my opinion, or anything, because the devil is crafty, right? He tries to sneak his own message or influence into these things. There are a few fragrance brands that I'm not even going to mess with anymore because they do things that are, to me, demonic practices. Like when you create an object on a fragrance and you start talking about the energy or the meaning or the God that was about this fragrance, that for me, nah, I've seen people place, false gods on a bottle and tell you what that God or that fragrance is going to do when you smell it. That's demonic, right? There's only one God, and I don't think that me selling you a fragrance should be me trying to push a false religion onto you. Now, I'm not here to tell you what you should believe in. I'm telling you what I believe in. What I believe in, that there's only one God, and I believe that idols or items should not be worshipped or praised in any aspect. Do I like fragrances? Yes. Do I enjoy them? Absolutely. But I want you guys to be aware and be conscious of the stories that are behind the creation of the fragrances or anything you buy, clothes, jewelry, etc. And choose for yourself, and I would say educate yourself on what is the real meaning behind what they're creating. All right? There are people out here that literally put spells on things to curse you if you touch it or you purchase it. And I believe, and I know this for a fact. If you are not covered by the blood of Jesus, if you are not surrounded by his protection, you are vulnerable to attacks from the enemy and his minions. So I said I wasn't gonna get too crazy and serious, but hey, we talking about your life and your soul. So I pray that you guys just be aware of these things. I love y'all. Always will. And until next time, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, God bless in Jesus' name. Peace.